Hey guys, Crewman here, and here is another build that I'm working on. This one is going to be an ultra budget build. It's basically inspired by this 1050 Ti that I picked up a while ago. So long story short, I had this from an old mining rig, this motherboard. It's a little dirty. I tried to clean it, only got so much. I found a 6700 for 30 bucks on eBay. So we're going to take this, we're going to put it in here. We're just going to use a stock cooler. We're going to use this 1050 Ti. One of my standard Patriot 512 M.2s because I do want to put a little bit of storage in it. Green RAM and this 430 watt white power supply. And this case basically was free. It was from one of that $150 1660 Ti PC I bought. And I just leave these cases upstairs. You never know when they're useful. I'm going to show that there's like a hole up here, and I'm going to show the build. Like, I'm going to make it as nice as I can, but this is definitely not something you're buying for looks. This is going to work, and it's going to get the job done. So without further ado, let's get to building this thing. All right, so let's fire up this baby and see what she can do. We're going to test Marvel Rivals and Cyberpunk 2077. Now, I actually kind of like Marvel Rivals, but it's really not that well optimized. So we're at 1080p low settings with FSR on performance, and the FPS doesn't look good as it's barely hitting 40 FPS. But honestly, when I was playing, I didn't really notice. Now, the graphics were turned down, but this is all cel shaded. So I don't think it matters. And you can see, thankfully, the lows are pretty close to your average, which keeps this thing from lagging. And you can see we're in the middle of, big action scene. So then we move on to Cyberpunk 2077. FSR on performance, same settings, getting like 40 FPS. And you can see there's a lot of stuff going on, and it's definitely playable. So we have a good mix of low-end titles and high-end titles, and I do think Marvel Rivals is poorly optimized as well. But you can see we're holding up pretty well at Cyberpunk 2077. So overall, I'm very, very happy with the gaming performance on this thing, especially considering that, as you can see, we're using a 1050 Ti and a 6700. So there you have it for the gaming performance. Now we're going to list this thing. I want to put it up at about 275, and we're going to see if it sells. So a week later, and it sold actually to a member of the channel. Messaged me on Jawa, asked me a few questions about it. Said his wife gave him permission and he bought it. He's going to love it. You know, look, it is what it is, right? But for the value that this thing has, I don't think it can be matched. As you can see, it can play the latest AAA titles. Now, you know, the settings are 1080p low, but thanks to FSR, it's definitely playable. And I actually ended up lowering the price. I originally had this at $275. I decided to lower it to about $250. Which is actually fine. I only spent $65 on this PC. Everything else was just parts from my old crypto mining farm that I honestly wasn't going to sell on its own. So after Jawa took their fees, I ended up with a gross of $216 and a profit of $151, which is actually pretty impressive. So I feel like this was a great build. The end result was a cheap, very, very affordable gaming PC that's going to end up in the hands of a very grateful gamer. And I got to make a profit out of it, and I got rid of parts that were just sitting on the shelf collecting dust. So thank you for watching this video. You know, I really like the low-end space. I don't think there's enough content done on super low-end builds, and I plan on doing them a little bit more regularly. So thanks again for watching. Please like and subscribe. I'll see you on the next one. Peace out.